Okay, so sorry this one's taking a little longer to explain, but I want to make sure you guys understand everything. We finally got it all covered with the thatch that we raked up, and by the way, that's one heck of a job. I'm sweating like crazy, and it's only 70-some degrees out. So, but you're just trying to make sure you're not seeing a whole lot of soil. That's the key, to get a nice layer over there. So it's not too thick, but yet you don't want to see soil poking out all through. And so you can barely see the soil through here, and that means that we got it on just right. Not too heavy and not too light. That's going to help hold that moisture in that soil. Not going to be perfect, but it's going to be really good. And so, like I was saying before, you could use a starter fertilizer. This will work as a starter fertilizer essentially. And since we're so close to our September 1st application, I haven't applied yet, I'm probably going to just go ahead and apply over this, just go a little lighter over this area than I do the normal lawn. And so I won't use starter in this. Starter is always helpful, especially in the spring. If you're trying to get it to grow up before the summer, that'll really help it mature faster, that starter fertilizer will. The starter fertilizer is the one that has the bigger middle number, so it might be like a 12, 28, 10 or something like that. So that middle number is going to be really big in that one. Is nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus. Potassium, no, phosphorus is going to be the one that's going to be up. And so NPK. And so, so that's what we're putting down this time. We're not going to do any starters on this one just because of the timing of the season and the timing of our fertilizer application. If you're seeding in the spring, make sure you're seeding in like February or March, really early, so that you'll be able to get a chance to maybe mow that grass a couple times before you get to put that preventer down, because that preventer will stop your good seed from germinating as well, and that'll help prevent those weeds from coming in. Anytime you seed after May 1st, you're going to have a big potential of weeds popping through, and you're going to battle weeds all summer long. So any summer seeding is going to be challenging. You're going to have to deal with the weeds that are going to come in with the grass. Summer annual weeds are very aggressive and grow very fast, and there's multiple times they grow during the season. And so you might end up having to overseed again and manage that area with weed killers throughout the season after you've mowed that new grass at least 3 or 4 times before you're able to start to spray on it. So timing is important for seeding. If you can get it done in the month of September, even middle of August, all the way through about the end of October, it starts getting really sketchy then. But then you can also do some dormant seeding, which is when it's really cold and it's done for, or really early, right when the first frost is kind of gone from the surface. You can seed it in really early in the spring, like in March sometime. That's how you seed.
3.
Okay, so that's how you seed. But now, what do we do after that as far as watering goes? Okay, so in order for seed to germinate and do well, it needs to stay wet consistently, like all the way through the whole day and night, in order to germinate as early as it can. And so when you're watering, you want to make sure that it stays wet. Well, that's why we compressed it and we put this down. That's going to help a lot. But you know, when you're watering, you only need to water this little new seed area maybe for 10 or 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. But you want to make sure it stays wet all day long. So it might take 3-4 times during the day to keep it wet all day long. And so if you have to go to work, it can be a little bit more challenging. So you'll have to water right before you leave, right when you get back, and maybe right before the sun goes down in this area with the new seedlings. And you got to do that until it's germinating and until you're mowing it your first time. It needs to stay pretty moist. Then you can start backing off and watering it normal again. And luckily in the fall, by that time rolls around, Mother Nature takes care of itself. So that's why I really like to do fall seeding, because it's a lot less work to do the watering part of it. Okay?